Seth Rollins is such a scumbag.
What's up, guys? It's phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto Live.
In this video, we're going to be talking about Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. This is the Week in Review, and this happens to be episode 317 of the Week in Review, which is absolutely insane. I've done 317 episodes of these. Oh my goodness. We'll be talking about Monday Night Raw from Brooklyn. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw from Brooklyn, New York. Raw after SummerSlam. And it was okay. I mean, it was a little dry here and there, but we're still going to talk about absolutely everything that happened. Lyra no longer wants Bayley in her life, and Seth Rollins is wreaking havoc. Might be the most untouchable champion in history. Seth Rollins, or should I call him the Big Red Tomato, would open up Monday Night Raw with his entourage, both Bronze and Mr. Oracle. Paul Heyman. The Oracle nickname starting to grow on me a little bit. So Seth Rollins is obviously going to gloat in the glory of cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase at SummerSlam. He, yes, is the World Heavyweight Champion. He screwed CM Punk at SummerSlam, and here he is gloating about it in the beginning of the show. Who's going to interrupt Seth? I thought it was going to be Punk. I really did. It was LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight is going to interrupt Seth Rollins, and this actually makes sense, because LA Knight was the last guy to pin Seth Rollins at the Saturday Night Main Event when Seth Rollins faked his injury. I love how LA Knight called him out on that fake injury, by the way. So Adam Pearce is going to make a match official for the main event, a World Heavyweight Championship match where LA Knight fought Seth Rollins in the main event. So that's a huge announcement to open up the show. Sheamus fought Rusev one-on-one, and this is actually their third match. Sheamus has one win, Rusev has one win. This was going to be the ultimate tiebreaker. Who is the better brawler on Monday Night Raw? And unfortunately, it was a double count-out. Literally, it was a double count-out, bro. Sheamus was doing the 10 beats to the bow over the barricade, and then the ref counted to 10. I was like, darn it. It ended in an all-out brawl. Rusev would use the steel stairs. They'd brawl throughout the entire show, man, even into backstage segments where Rusev actually clocked Sami Zayn. They fought through Alexa Bliss and Charlotte segments. It was crazy. They fought the entire show. Xavier Woods, where can I buy that hat? Short on the channel on how to make that hat, so feel free to check it out. There is the hat. I'm not even over-exaggerating, guys. That is the hat that Xavier Woods was wearing on Monday Night Raw. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were contemplating whether they wanted to come to the help of the Big G, Grayson Waller, and they actually did. Grayson Waller fought Penta one-on-one. Match was all right. Penta would win the match with the Mexican Destroyer, which was fire. He doesn't normally get the pinfall victory with that move, so that was pretty freaking cool. Penta's gonna take the dub. After the match, New Day's gonna get into it with Penta a little bit in the ring, but Penta's gonna take care of business, even launching the hat of Xavier Woods out to the outside, taking them all out, man. Looked like a big freaking flying saucer flying to the outside of the ring. So that was a lot of fun. Penta just taking care of business on Raw. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss are still contemplating whether they are friends, but they're tag team champions now. They should be friends. What the heck? Their promo is going to get interrupted by Roxanne and Raquel, the former tag champ. I wasn't expecting to get a tag team championship rematch here, but we did. Adam Pearce made it official. Another championship match unannounced here for this episode of Raw, and Charlotte and Alexa take care of business. I did not like how referee Jessica Carr was being way too loud with her calls in the match. Charlotte, tag Alexa. Charlotte, keep Raquel in the corner. Jessica Carr, lower your voice. Oh my god, bro. She was literally screaming these calls, and I was like, dude. But Alexa Bliss is going to win the match with the sister Abigail, and Charlotte and Alexa retain the tag titles. I love them. So Io Sky asked for a World Women's Championship match next week up against Naomi, and Rhea Ripley actually understood why, because Rhea Ripley was the one that got pinned at SummerSlam. So she's like, Io, I understand why you'd go for that title, but hey, if you win, I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming for you. And Io's like, nah, Rhea, you'll never beat me. I was like, oh man, this is great. So Dragon Lee got into it backstage with Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and as you would expect, we settle our business in the ring, according to Adam Pearce. So Dom would go one-on-one with Dragon Lee. 3 El Grande Americanos? Are you kidding me? 3 El Grande Americanos got involved in this match. I swear one of them is Rey Mysterio, bro. It really looks like one of them is, but highly unlikely, obviously. But yeah, 3 El Grande Americanos got involved, and then Dominic Mysterio pinned Dragon Lee. Looked to beat him down after the match. Here comes AJ Styles to help him out. I loved when AJ Styles threw the boot of Dom at Dom on the outside. So funny, made me laugh out loud. But yeah, AJ Styles is still gunning after that IC championship, and hopefully he could eventually get it. Maybe at Clash in Paris, man. Paris, France, that crowd's gonna be so hot. Why does every single person that Nikki Bella gets into a rivalry with always have to mention her relationship status? You know how embarrassing that is? Like, can we stop talking about Nikki Nikki Bella and John Cena. Like, that's so old. Of course, Becky Lynch had to resort to that in this promo. Becky was gloating about retaining the IC title, obviously. And there comes Nikki Bella, who's gonna interrupt. This gave me flashbacks of the Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella promo. Nikki Bella could cut a dang promo, man. She was cooking Becky Lynch, calling her scared, a scared little girl. Never wanted to fight Nikki Bella earlier in the day. So here's Becky Lynch, who's gonna deliver a cheap shot to Nikki after literally calling her out and not dating John Cena anymore. I was like, bro, why do you even have to bring that up? You could tell that Nikki Bella was actually very embarrassed too by that. I was like, bro, why did you even have to say that? But I can't wait till Nikki takes that IC championship. She better, bro. Dude, this was actually pretty heartbreaking, low-key. Backstage, Lyra and Bayley, they didn't even really get into it. Lyra basically just said, every time me and you, Bayley, every time we freaking like get involved with each other's business, things don't work out. Just stay out of my way and stay out of my life. I was like, oh my god, this was like low-key kind of heartbreaking, straight up. And our main event of the show was absolute chaos. It was LA Knight versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is huge. I can't believe we already got that match, but it went down, and it did end in a disqualification because CM Punk jumped the barricade. CM Punk, who I didn't think was going to be at this episode of Raw, he would attack Seth Rollins, but it doesn't work out. CM Punk eats a spear, and then they just start dominating Punk and LA Knight. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are just the ultimate equalizers to have by your side. I totally understand why Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins put this team together and making sure to include Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I totally understand now. They are immovable objects. Literally, they are. So Roman Reigns even tried to come out and try to take care of business, and he couldn't even take down Bronson and Braun Breaker. They just wreaked havoc as Seth Rollins just watched. I was like, gosh darn it, man. Seth Rollins is actually pissing me off. This group is untouchable, and somebody needs to take them down. Ranking the show out of 10, I'm going to give it low-key a 6 out of 10. It was kind of a mid-show, a little boring here and there. I mean, some solid action, solid wrestling, but favorite match, low-key, I'm going to give it to Charlotte, Alexa, Roxanne, and Raquel. Favorite moment, easily the Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch promo. What do y'all say we jump into the blue brand? That being SmackDown. Let's go. This interaction left me speechless on Friday Night SmackDown. Here it all is. Everything that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. From Montreal, Quebec, Canada. John Cena was on this show. R-Truth made an appearance on this show. It was a banger. Let's talk about it. Opening up the show with Face John Cena. Let me just start off by saying Face John Cena promos are back, baby, and it feels dang good. I thought for sure. I thought 100% positive Brock Lesnar was going to be in Montreal, but he wasn't. John Cena got interrupted by Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul and John Cena would set up a match for Clash in Paris? Bro, that is huge. I thought it was going to be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Clash in Paris. I'm down, though. That sounds hype. And it was just a big distraction because Drew McIntyre would attack John Cena from behind, and they just wanted to beat him down. Who's going to come to the aid of John Cena? That's going to be Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes is going to come down to the ring. Going to turn into a tag team match in our main event. And I had no clue we were going to see a main event of that caliber for this episode of SmackDown. It was a banger. I'll talk about it here in a few. But a great way to open up the show. I enjoyed this a lot. Motor City Machine Guns want to get back on track. Obviously, they lost in the ladder match at SummerSlam, and they want to climb that ladder once again to tag team gold. That would not start on this episode of SmackDown because they had to fight JC Mateo and Tala Tonga. I'm not going to lie, MCMG, y'all stood no chance. They're going to take a massive L to Tala Tonga and JC Mateo. It looks like Tala Tonga and JC Mateo are coming for tag gold. At least that's the vibe that I got from that match. After the match, Solo Sikoa is going to just start making fun of Montreal, as he should. But Montreal's own Sami Zayn was in the house. On Monday Night Raw superstar, who Nick Aldis said is a special guest on this episode of SmackDown. What a special guest appearance, because he's going to walk into the Blue Brand, being a Raw superstar, and pin the United States champion Solo Sikoa in one-on-one action. He pinned him clean, rolled him right up. It even felt like a 4-on-1 handicap match with the MFT on ringside. It wasn't enough. Sami Zayn pinned Solo Sikoa. Does that set him up for a title match in the future, even though he's a Raw superstar? I'm just glad he's not having matches with Karrion Kross anymore. It feels good. It feels fresh. Yo, Miz, I'm with Carmelo Hayes here. Where have you been? Oh my gosh. So Carmelo Hayes, he was going to talk to Nick Aldis and say like, hey, I want a United States Championship match. I want to get into the title picture. And then Miz is like, whoa, 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 whoa. We need to focus on tag team championships, Carmelo. I already talked to Nick Aldis, which was a lie. He lied right to Carmelo's face. He didn't talk to Nick Aldis yet because Nick Aldis would pass after Carmelo would walk away, and Miz is like, hey, I got to talk to you. So I was like, bro, you're literally lying to Carmelo. So what is the Miz up to here? If they weren't friends already, they definitely are now. It was Alexa Bliss's birthday, so Charlotte got her a cake, which said, congratulations, Charlotte, in big letters, and then, and Alexa Bliss in really small letters. It was kind of an arrogant gift, but it was still pretty cool. And Charlotte got her own Charlie doll for Alexa Bliss as well, so that could match with the little dumb Lily doll, whatever. But it was just a little goofy promo. It would get interrupted by Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, you should have interrupted this, because she would get a match with Charlotte Flair, which would not end too well. Even with the Secret Service on ringside, Alexa Bliss would take out the Secret Service, would lead to Charlotte Flair tapping out Chelsea Green with the figure eight. After here, she sent her face into the cake, which was great. They slid the cake in the ring. Thanks, Secret Harvest. This was fun. A face John Cena interacted with Ron Killings backstage. I thought they were going to have possibly Ron Killings be really angry with John Cena in this promo, but he wasn't. He was happy to have him back. They kind of did like a mime, like mirroring little phase here, which was kind of funny, putting his hands up, moving them at the same times. But I enjoyed this, and Cena accused R-Truth of turning heel on the fans. So this was just a little goofy interaction here between these two, but we definitely needed it. It felt good. Our main event of Friday Night SmackDown, John Cena and Cody Rhodes, former enemies, would have to team up to fight Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, successful tag team victors at SummerSlam. They took out Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. But going into this match, I knew we weren't going to have a winner. I was like, literally nobody in this match could be pinned. Literally nobody can be pinned. Cena ain't getting pinned. Cody ain't getting pinned. Let's be real here. So Logan Paul's going to turn it into a disqualification, low blowing John Cena. Him and John Cena would fight to the back. They have a match at Clash at Paris. I'm excited about that. But what I really like was this. Drew McIntyre got his hands back on championship gold. And no, he might not have won the gold, but you definitely saw the fire in Drew McIntyre's eyes when he picked up that undisputed WWE championship. He got that fire back, and he saw Cody Rhodes by the announce desk, and he's like, F you, Cody Rhodes. Claymore right through the bottom of the announce desk. It was such a unique break to the announce desk that we don't normally see. It was very freaking cool. Drew McIntyre has a fire in his eyes, and that's also probably going to be another match at Clash in Paris. Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship, and I'm very excited about this. This literally came out of left field. I wasn't expecting Cody's next opponent to be Drew. Like, that's huge. Drew's gonna choke again. I guarantee it. Friday Night SmackDown was pretty freaking solid. I mean, obviously the Cena stuff was great, but as far as everything else, it was just alright. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like I'm even being generous doing that. My favorite match was obviously the main event tag match. That was a lot of fun, and my favorite moment was Drew McIntyre delivering that Claymore to Cody Rhodes through the announce desk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week in review action figure setup, and I'll see you guys next time. Bretto Live is out. Existence